Hey everybody, welcome to Neurodivergent Gaming. I'm your host, Tailgate Coolie Cat Meow, and you know what we got going on over here? High scores and low dopamine. Let's go! You can sell your items to make some extra money. I think we'll do a little bit of each of these. We'll do 2 chicken feeders and 2 cow feeders, and it'll take 30 seconds to make those. You just click on the beans over here and you drag them to the center. You click on your items over here, you drag them to the center, and that fills up your bar across the top. Now below where the chicken feed is being made, there's a little gear. If we spend one of our gears, then we can go ahead and finish immediately, but I don't really want to do that. I just want to let it go. It's only 30 seconds. I'll hoard my little gears. And we have more wheat that's done, so click on it once and the harvest tool appears. And then we're going to click on the soil, and let's plant some of these beans this time. And they're going to take a little bit longer to grow, so that'll give us a little bit of time there. If we click back on our cash register down here, then we can see the different items that we can build and how much they cost. And of course, when we build them, when we initially build them, they'll be in pieces. The buildings will be, and we can do some factory working to build the buildings. So we'll come back over here to our animal tab, and then we'll click on the across the top. There are 2 other tabs. There's cow and looks like a fence with hay behind it. And so we'll click on this fence with hay behind it, and this is our food feeders that we have. It looks like we have 6 of the chicken feeders already in storage, and we have no hay already in storage. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag the chicken feeders out here and place those, a few of those. And I'm going to move this cow. If you just hold down on him, then you can move him where you want him to go. And then collect my eggs. And then you'll see above the barn, that the chicken feeder is ready. So we'll just click on that, and then that puts it to our storage immediately. And now the hay is ready. So if we click on the barn, we can see that we just have hay left there. We have 1 hay left to make. Let's go ahead and make 3 more hay. We're just going to drag the ingredients from the left side over to the right. And that fills up the to-do list for them. And now you'll see the cows are ready with their milk. So we'll just tap on the milk here and gather it. And this gives us ingredients to make items over here in our factories. Now we have our dairy, which requires 6 workers. And we can make cream, we can make butter, we can make goggle moggle, curd cheese, regular cheese, yogurt, and then when I reach level 25 I'll be able to make ice cream, but not that high up. So again, let's check over here and see what we need. Packaged eggs, and then we need cookies, packaged eggs, a pie. There's some of that goggle moggle stuff there. And so let's see, we can come over here to, that was the dairy. Let's go to the bakery next door. So the bakery, we can make flour, we can make dough, we can make cookies, which we need to make for the order, pancakes, strawberry pie, sugar cubes, curd base, there's a pumpkin cheesecake that we need to make, and a berry cake. So in order to make the pumpkin cheesecake, if you look over here to the left where the ingredients are, it requires this curd base that we can also make here. So let's make the curd base, and then when that's done, we can make the pumpkin cheesecake. And in the meantime, we can make cookies as well. So we'll let those two things go. And here's one of the examples of the places where you can use water to help us make our ingredients. A lot of these things require dough. Cookies require dough. The curd base requires dough. And it looks like we won't need any additional dough for the pumpkin cheesecake. But because dough is required on a lot of these things, I'm going to go ahead and fill up these last two slots just making dough. So that'll put that in our inventory and we can use it later for some of the other things that we need to do. Some of our hay is ready. I'm not going to gather it yet. I'm going to go ahead and grab this milk. I'm going to wait and let those all finish making. Looks like our bean thingies are ready, so we're going to get those and then get those eggs harvested. We're going to tap on our soil here, and when you hold down before you drag it over to the soil, then it'll tell you this is 3 gold coins per soil plot of beans, and it'll also tell you how long it takes to make, normally 45 seconds, but I think there's some kind of special going on, maybe one of my power-ups that I got, that it only makes it 23 seconds, so all our time is cut in half. This is usually 10 minutes, and it's down to 5. And it'll tell you how many you have in storage as well. The price is 2 gold, but we have several of those in storage. And then let's see, this corn, it's going to be, go up here a little bit, it's going to be 6 each. It usually takes 20 minutes to make, and this is 10 now, so that seems like a really good idea. And we have 158 of those in storage. And now we'll check on the strawberries real quick. The strawberries, $10 each. I say dollars, they're gold coins. And we have 200 of them in storage. So I think maybe making some corn is the way to go now. So we'll fill this up with corn. And again, you just click on the soil and then grab what you want and plant it by just dragging it over the soil plot. And go ahead and grab those eggs. And you don't have to plant the same thing in all of the soil spaces. We could have done like half corn, half strawberries if we wanted to. I just like to put everything the same. And it also bothers me that I have this one soil piece that's outside of the square, but you have to level up in order to unlock more soil pieces. And that is... not sure which one that's in. That's the decorating. I'm not sure which one that is for the soil pieces. Maybe they appear. But we can add the heated garden bed and the hothouse, which I'm not ready to do those yet. And those require the gold or the green gems over there, so we're not going to spend any of those right now. We got more milk being done here, so we're going to go ahead and gather all our milk. And then you'll see we have 3 of our hay done, so we'll go ahead and gather those. And then I'm going to just fill the rest of the work slots up with hay, so that that'll keep on working over there. So we got the dairy and we got the bakery. Let's come over here and see what else we can do. We've got this is the quarry, and so it takes 23 energy to break apart this rock here that the quarry's dug up for us, and then that will give us some resources. I'm going to go ahead and do it so that you guys can see. He hammers away at that a little bit, and then we've got our resources there. And then we can click on the quarry, and then we can tell it what kind of, oh, I guess it's a research facility. We can tell it what kind of items we're needing. We can spend a little bit of money, and it'll go fetch those items for us and put it there where that one was so that we can harvest it. Right next to it, we have the sawmill. You'll see it takes 1 worker to run the sawmill, and we can get wood veneer, boards, glue, a beam, or cardboard. So We can make several things there. Then we have the pottery, which requires 3 workers. We can make mortar, the brick, roof tile, and then when we get to level 18, we can make a clay pot. And then next to that, we have the quarry. This one's the quarry. It allows us to make gravel with the rocks that we've got, quartz, sand, and cement. And next to it, we have the smith or smithy, and it requires 1 worker. With this, you can make nails, pipe, and chains. So all of those are required for some of the buildings that we'll be making. Turn into gifts now. Interesting. So we just turned that into gifts, which is fine. I didn't want to bust up anyway. So we got energy from it. Energy's good. We're going to go to the map here in a minute and see how to spend some of that energy. The factory, we can make a stool, and you see how that requires the nails and the glue and the wood veneer. We make table. We don't have enough boards to do that. Windows, we need glass for that. And a bed. A cardboard box, we'll obviously need cardboard for, and a wooden crate we can make at the factory. So lots of little things that we can make there. And let's see, over here we've done a few things. We can kind of decorate. We can hammer these things out. Like we can get rid of this little shrub. It only takes 7 energy, and that kind of cleans the area up. I don't want to get rid of all the little shrubberies, but that's kind of what that's about. Let's look at our daily task here. We've placed 2 animals, so that gives us a little bit. Produce energy and play at the sweet shop. We've already played at the sweet shop, so we'll have to wait until it allows us to do that again. But we can produce energy, and you'll see there's a candy factory and another little building that I forget what it's called. Let's come over here and find out. This is the other little building, the furnace. So we can select these different items, and it will give us different amounts of energy. So if we select this plum, perhaps, it fills that bar up just a little bit. And so we just tap on it, and it makes progress towards filling up the bar. And then this flower here and an apple, and you see how each one we're tapping on fills the bar up more. And so then that gave us 15 energy, and we have to wait for 4 minutes and 56 seconds before we can utilize that bar again to create more energy. We can do an immediate cool off, costing us 1 block of ice, of which we have 55, but I'm not really interested in doing that right now. You'll see the honeycomb takes up more progress on the progress bar to make the energy, and then this bigger honeycomb here almost fills the bar up completely. So we'll fill those up, and so we've made 3 15s, so 45 energy in doing that, and that gives us our reward for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you feel like it. That's the hit. Catch you next time. Bye.